first sloka only there is expressing about dainyata is there, which is a very, very essential quality. Hmm? And which cannot be just, practiced in the sense of the term. But still we have to, because the true dainya is the equanimous with love of God. Right? So other times we can just practice it using our intelligence. Hmm. So that's what we saw from Brihad Bhagavatamrit and the outskirts of Vrindavan Dham, Uddhava, Narada and Gopkumar. So I believe Narada is telling this to Gopkumar, the Dainyata. So that we discussed in the very first verse. Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anything else? Anyone else wants to say something in your remembrance? Mm,
He said that there are two kinds of bending. One which awakens when on the development of love of God, and
yeah.
in which we practice with our thoughts, words, and actions, with the use of our intelligence.
Yes. So there is true humility and there is a sincere desire to develop that true humility. That's all. Hmm? So that's the right path. And then there is a false humility which is not supposed to be no thought of or exhibited or and so on. Hmm? So that's what. So I'm just opening the chapter number.
Prabhuji, I forget what is false humility.
False
Any example
humility.
here?
False humility expression of that is just for sake of showing we are doing without any sort of substance in it and purpose in it. As we were discussing that ideally it will be outcome of the practice of pure devotion. As I remember Rishi Kumar Prabhu sharing about Param Puja Haldar Swami Maharaj. So we have to practice pure devotional service and it will manifest good qualities which is including humility, which will be true. So that result of practice of pure devotion, if it is a effect, then it is true humility. And false humility would be just trying to be showing what we are not, no? Like, we just act modestly or speak that, Prabhu, I am very humble, please forgive me. But we don't feel like that. But of course, to do that is also not so much wrong, but it is not the thing which has to be just done. And pure devotion, are we practicing that? So without practicing of pure devotion, if we are just trying to exhibit humility, that we can call it as false humility. Hmm? And what is true humility when we are using our intelligence to practice pure devotional service and understand that Golok Vrindavan needs this quality. So in our thoughts, words and actions, with this goal in mind of pure devotion, we practice it. That is true humility. Or I would not say true humility. It is the practice of true humility. It is not true humility. True humility is love of God. It is non-different. Hmm. Because humility is defined. Actually, can someone define humility? It's a very, very unique quality. See, there is submission, which is different. There is gentleness, which is different. There is, what is that? Modesty, it is different. And then there is a sweet speech, that is different. But humility is different from all of that. Right? So sometimes we think all these other four to be humility, but that is not humility. So what is humility? Yes, anyone can define?
Prabhuji, I may try to say it like to truly understand that we are not the doers and the Lord is the only doer, enjoyer and controller. So that is humility, the freedom from doership.
Yeah.
that's humility.
Yeah, so that can be there for even Gyan Yogi also. Hmm? Freedom from worship. So it is one part of it. It is not the heart of it. Like for example, where is this verse comes which you are talking about in Bhagavad Gita? Prakute Kriya Manani? Yes. Gune Karmani Sarvasha Ahankara Vimudhatma Karta Ahamiti.
करता हूँ
So this is, I believe, in first 6 chapters only, isn't it?
Correct, correct.
So even a person who is realization of Brahman also knows that I am not doer, I am not enjoyer. Hmm? So this is one part of it, but it doesn't capture the whole thing. Yes, anyone wants to try more, or what Prabhupada defines in Bhagavad Gita? Actually, that's what Krishna tells. So it's, yes, anyone want to go ahead, try, do now. Now you can do philosophical speculation, no problem.
I think I heard from Raghunath Maharaj this. I may be corrected if I'm wrong. Maharaj said humility is not thinking yourself less, it is less thinking of yourself. Like that, I heard.
I also heard to be quoted by Maharaj quoting Bhakti Maharaj. I think. So Bhakti
Maybe.
Maharaj
Maybe.
would say that, that's why I was saying, no, Prabhu, I am very humble, how I can do this, So we are thinking about ourselves only. So it is not humility. Humility is less thinking of yourself.
Yeah.
You are just absorbed in Krishna and his devotees and pleasing them and so on. So that's a very nice definition given by Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Thank you, bro. So can you repeat that? It's very tricky.
You know, Prabhu. You know, Prabhu.
No, please repeat for
Probably you are
everyone.
asking me to repeat so that I can remember it.
For
I can
all
try
of
to
us, I
follow
am saying.
actually.
It's a very tricky thing. That's why I am saying to you, for all of us.
Humility is not to think yourself less, it is less thinking of yourself.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, so that's a very nice realized definition by Param Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. And at this point, I remember another example, another definition of another kind of symptom, I would say, of humility shared by his great disciple, Param Bhakti Dhir Damodar Swami Maharaj. So what he would say, he quoted his Guru Maharaj saying that humility means is bold and submissive. So can you see these two things together? Bold and submissive. So this is again Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. It's very profound. What more? What Prabhupada defines humility? You can Google, not Google it, but in folio. Or I don't know what is AI saying, humility. I don't know what it will say. But anyway, it's actually at least Prabhupada's definition we should think. What Prabhupada says. Anyone?
So
It's a good-
humility and humble is same thing, huh?
So
Or humbleness leads to humility, something like that.
it's one and same actually. Amanitvam abandam.
One and same, Prabhu.
Yes, bro. Please share. Ram Kishore, who want to say? Or anyone?
No, no, no. I was just saying that humble and humility are same.
Yeah.
Being humble after having all the knowledge.
What?
Being humble after having all knowledge.
After having all knowledge, what?
Being humble after having all the knowledge.
How about what is that humble? That's what we are talking. Because many people say, I am humble. Actually a real humble person never says that. Actually, it's a very mystic quality. Anyway, so definition of Prabhupada is like this. That is there in Bhagavad Gita. I believe it is Amanitvam. 12 items of knowledge, 18 items of knowledge are there. So first item of knowledge is this. So can you imagine? This is the beginning. And here only the current education system and it fails here. The very first item of knowledge or process of knowledge is this. So there it is.
I think I prove. I just as I was
You
talking
got
to
it?
you, I got it.
So
Humility means not to be anxious to have satisfaction of being honored by others.
So it's a very deep thing to think about.
Yeah.
Hmm? Humility is not to be anxious to find the satisfaction of being honored by others. I think I paraphrased, I didn't say it exactly. So you can say it again, Prabhu.
No, I'm not saying myself, I'm just reading and speaking. Bhagavad Gita 13.8 to 12, that Amanitam Abhinito, that whole series of 6 slokas, in the purport Prabhupada says, humility means that one should not be anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others.
Yeah.
Very
So
profound.
this
Very
is
profound.
profound definition of humility.
Prabhupada is Acharya.
Yeah. And Prabhupada being Acharya, just as Prabhu is saying, I am not speaking, Prabhupada is speaking. So Prabhupada is also repeating Acharya, who is Baladev Vidyabhushan. So he says that, and Prabhupada fluffs it. So what is that? Swasatkara anapekshatvam. So this is what is in English. So you can understand. Not expecting, anapekshatvam means not anticipating, expecting. Swasatkara. So that's what Prabhupada is making in English. How long it is, can you see? And he is adding more emotions into it. Anxious, not to be anxious, to find the satisfaction. So our satisfaction should not come from this. That is human. So it's a very deep quality. So best is to think about it, understand it, and pray for it. Sincerely. That's all. Don't show it or like that. Be what you are and try to practice pure devotional service. So that is what is false and true. And another definition given by my Guru Maharaj is also very wonderful. That is, he says, humility means uh, recognizing influence of false ego. Uh, so when you recognize the influence and don't act upon it, actually I am also paraphrasing exactly. First word I am missing. Influence of false ego. Not acting. Yes, that's the right thing. Not acting on influence of false ego. Hmm. So influence of false ego means what actually it is somewhat closer to what Ramkishore Prabhu said. So three kinds of false ego are there. Dravya Shakti, I possess something, or Kriya Shakti, I can do something. But the most fine is I know that I am not the doer, I don't possess anything. But what I know, that is the deepest Jnana Shakti. So anyone who thinks I know, I do, or I possess. So these are the symptoms of false ego. And one who doesn't act on that is humble, according to my Guru Maharaj. So this is also another very practical definition. So with that, let us begin with our discussion of chapter 16, where our dear Prithu Maharaj is depicting this quality actually. And Prabhupada is writing a brilliant purport, which was reminded by Mataji in the beginning. So, yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can you please repeat that? Dravya Shakti, four things.
Yeah, three things. Mataji, there
Three
is
things.
three kinds of ahankar, right? So, Tattvik, Rajasic, Tamasic. So, Tamasic ahankar means Tan Matra and the earth, water, fire, air, ether. So, anyone who thinks any of these possessions, so I possess some dravya. So, this is dravya na, of material world. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. And sense objects, Tan Matra. So, this is all dravya. So, I possess this house, I possess this sense, I possess something. So that is Dravya Shakti, and saying that I possess something is uh, the the deepest false ego or highest false ego, you can say. Little false ego once starts giving up, he becomes understand that he doesn't belong to him. But I am serving many people. I am maintaining so many things. I am the doer. Kriya Shakti. That is Rajasic Ahankar. So intelligence, prana, and the senses, 10 senses are Rajasic Ahankar. So anything who identifies with that intelligence and skills and doership is the little finer false ego, which is mode of passion, Rajasic Ahankar, Taijasa. And the finest false ego is Satvik Ahankar. In Satvik Ahankar, what remains? Yes, what is comprising of Satvik Ahankar? Now we are in fourth canto, so you learned many times. Anyone can say what is remaining of 24 elements?
Soul?
Satvik.
Soul?
Yes.
Soul, Atma.
No, soul is not part of Ahankar. How can soul be there?
Me, these are true
This is
Ahankar. I am
Sushti
the.
Lila. Sushti Lila. Please remember Sushti Lila, which you learned 5 times till now. Yes, Prabhu, Mataji, you want to say? Suryakant Krishna Prabhu or Rajgaur Mataji?
No, Prabhuji.
No.
About soul, it is a not mithya Ahankar. It is a perfect Ahankar that I am the servant
Correct.
of.
Perfect. So
It is
we are
true,
talking
a
about.
true ego.
Yes. So
Is it
that
like Prabhu, those who rise above the I mean to say those who rise above this Pancha Mahabhuta, those who rise slightly above the mind intelligence, but still feel that I am the one who created this world and try to merge into the Brahman, something like Gyanis?
No, it's just directly from Sushti Lila. Means your thinking is correct, but it is including all of them. So it's more specific. So anyone remembers what is Satvik Ahankar? And see, Rajasic Ahankar is creating your intelligence and prana. So intelligence gives the energy to the knowledge acquiring senses, and prana gives energy to the working senses. So all kriyas are done by Rajasic Ahankar, right? And Tamasic Ahankar, I told earth, water, fire, air, ether, dravya, and Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha, right? So this is dravya, this is kriya. So finest Ahankar is what? What is missing till now? Which is the most difficult thing, which Krishna tells you, give me that. What is that? That is still.
Mind.
Yeah.
Mm.
Man mana bhavamad bhakto.
Hmm.
Mayyeva mana adhatsva. So it's mind that Krishna is asking for. So mind is a Satvik Ahankar's one component. And what are other components of Satvik Ahankar? The sense devatas. See, whatever we are able to, now I am able to see you, that is because of Sun God's mercy. So all the senses, working senses and the knowledge acquiring senses are both, everyone has one devata, right? So those devatas are part of Satvik Ahankar. Actually, they perceive and tell us, we can't perceive. Like sun god, I'm saying, because of sun's mercy, I can see you. If sun says, I am not sure, we can't see. So we are not. So they are. So mind and the sense devatas. Indriya. So they are. So that is Jnana Shakti. So Dravya Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. So anyone who says Jnana Shakti, I know that I am not doer. I know that I am not possessor. But I know. So if I know, you will remain here. You will rot here. Because we can't know what we can know without mercy of Lord and Devata. So that is the finest ahankar actually. So Prabhupada writes a big purport in second canto that it's very difficult to give up. Very, very difficult to give up. Because I know, that's why I want Satkar, right? Others don't know, I know. So you should worship me, should respect me. What do you know? If Krishna removes, next moment you can't speak any word. What do we know? Nothing we know. So that is the finest ahankar. So that is what. So these Bhagavatam pastimes depict all this actually. So you see Ambarish Maharaj and or who? Durvas Muni, right? Durvas Muni is sannyasi. And Ambarish Maharaj is a king who is living in kingly opulence. But who is not having false ego? When you come to know, when Sudarshan Chakra comes or fiery demon comes, that time you can know who has Ahankar, who doesn't have. So we should not go by externals of saffron or something. Ahankar is the only problem, and the only solution for that is to delight in glory of Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas. And there is no other way. We can't give up. So that is what is. So Abeyash Bushuk Tribhuvan is the only way to give up this ahankar. Like that. So that is the Sattvic ahankar. Okay. So which is finest. So when we say I and mine, right? So I and mine is essence of material life on level of thought, words, actions, intentions. So mine is Dravya Shakti and I has two components. I am the doer, Kartrutva. So Bhoktrutva is Dravya Shakti, Kartrutva is Kriya Shakti and Jnatrutva. So these three should not be there. And we should act. So anyone who is trying to act, not act on these feelings is practice of humility. So that's what. Is it okay, Mataji? You
No,
had asked.
Prabhuji. Thank you for nicely elaborating.
Yes, please.
Explanation.
Yes, so thank you for Sachi Sundari Mataji, who asked, I think. You asked, na? Or someone else asked to say?
I asked.
You asked. So thank you very much, Gauri Mata. So this is the practice to go to Vraja. And there is, and that's what all the spiritual masters, including my spiritual master, is bombarding in every class. And once Radheshampu asked him that why we are not going ahead of these verses of Shikshashtakam, fourth, fifth. So that time Maharaj, what Maharaj replied? Anyone knows? You have heard? Radheshampu personally shares this. So Shriman Radheshampu asked, so Paramahansa Radhanand Maharaj replied that, what I can do? No one is practicing that. I want to speak 8th verse. Ashleshyava padaratam pinashtum. But I have been telling, but no one is taking that seriously. What I can do? I have to tell that only, na? What I can do. So that's why this is a very foundational, it's not a part of bhakti, it's a heart of bhakti. That's what he says. It's a heart of bhakti to have this cultivation. Otherwise, he says we can preach to millions of people, we can attract thousands of people by our kirtan, or we can distribute millions of books, or we can, like that he says. But if this is not there, then it doesn't please Krishna. Doesn't please Krishna. We cannot pray fervently if this is the case. So that's why it's very essential to practice. And Param Pujya Gopal Krishna Maharaj said to His Grace Mohan Rup, not Mohan Rupo, Rukmini Krishna Prabhu once. So he was doing temple administration of Punjabi Bagh temple. And you can understand, temple administration is a thankless task. So once he was little inconvenienced because so many issues are going on. So he approaches his Guru Maharaj, Param Pujya Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And he tells Maharaj so many problems, this, that. How to deal with these problems? Maharaj said, you practice third verse of Shikshashtakam. Suman Rukmini Krishna Prabhu said, yes, Maharaj, I am trying. Can you tell something practical? Tell something practical. This means they are having intimate discussion. That's why he can ask like that. It's very intimate disciple of Maharaj. So Maharaj said, yes, that's what I said. So he said, yes, Maharaj, that is but something practical which I can do. महाराज said, अगर आप ये तीसरे श्लोक से नहीं जियोगे तो यहाँ पर सड़ोगे. This is परम पूज्य गोपाल कृष्ण महाराज's words. Have you seen speaking heavily? I have till now not heard from anyone. This is the only heavy words I heard from Himan Rukmini Krishna. He said, if you don't practice, no, आप अगर इसका अनुशीलन नहीं करते तो आप भौतिक जगत में सड़ोगे. This is his statement. And he lived his life like that. And all the spiritual masters actually. Because they are living in reality. Right? Reality is this. So that is the case. And Param Pujya Bhakti Padma Saurabh Pracharak Maharaj or Kamal Lochan, he made a very nice statement. So many times we say, प्रभु जी practical कुछ बताओ, practical क्या application? He said the greatest practical application of devotional service is the third verse of Shikshashtaka. The most practical things we can do and try to practice it. Of course, we are not forgetting pure devotional service. Otherwise, it will become Jnana Karma Adi Anavritam. Adi Anavritam is practicing humility without focusing on pure devotion. So that is not what we are talking about here. We are trying to understand what is this quality and how important is this quality. We cultivate yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarvaya gunas tatra samasati. So we try to practice akinchan bhakti by associating with akinchan bhaktas, hearing from them, pleasing them, serving. And that's the only way. Okay, so thank you very much. So let us begin. So here our dear Prabhupada is making that nice statement which we have been discussing till now. See. So although king denied such praise because he was not at that time exhibiting godly qualities, the reciter did not stop praising him. Rather, they were pleased with the king, who, although actually an incarnation of God, was so humble and delightful in his dealings with his devotees. In this connection, we may note that previously it was mentioned that King Puthu was smiling and was in a pleasant mood while speaking to the reciters. So this is the line which Lord is teaching us. Thus, we have to learn from the Lord and his incarnation how to become gentle and humble. So only way to learn humility is to spend time with person Bhagavat and book Bhagavat, because they speak about person Bhagavat, right, where the quality is depicted. And that's what was instructed to me also by my Guru Maharaj. That when we hear about the characters of Bhagavatam, then these qualities inspire us, attract us. We think about those characters and their mercy by which we can go closer to that. So that's what Prabhupada is telling. So the king's behavior was very pleasing to the reciters, and consequently the reciters continued their praise and even foretold the king's future activities as they have been instructed by sadhus and saints. So this is the summary of the chapter actually. So with that, now let us go ahead. So next two verses. So first verse already we saw. So let us go to, so the title of chapter is Praise of King Pruthu by the Professional Reciters. So it's praise, they are more or less telling what is Pruthu is going to do in future. That is the last part of chapter, that he is going to milk the earth and he is going to be blessed by Kumaras, and what all qualities he will exhibit and how glorious they are. That is the first part of glorification. So that begins from text 4 till the end of the chapter. But before that, the two verses are spoken by the bards, the Suta, Magada, and Vandi. They are speaking these two verses, which are very nicely depicting the ideal mood of a Sankirtan devotee who is trying to glorify the Lord, trying to glorify spiritual masters and sadhus. So his ideal mood of them. So what is their ideal mood? We are incapable to glorify you fully. We are disqualified to glorify you because we cannot know you. How we can glorify you? And there can never be any day in the future that we will become qualified or capable. Eternally, we are incapable and disqualified to glorify the Lord and His pure devotees. But still, we will do it. Right now, I am trying to speak. Where is the qualification? No qualification. But I have been instructed. So that's why we should do it anyway. So, and we find pleasure in that. That is great mercy of Lord. So that is what they are saying in these two verses, second verse and third verse. So let us see these beautiful verses. And of course, so the glory of Bhagavatam, we didn't reflect. So glory of Bhagavatam is this actually, that it depicts the heart of the pure devotees, which is the most confidential thing. Vaishnavara Kriya Mudra Vidnena Bhujaya. So we can't understand, but heart of Vaishnava is depicted in by Shukdev Goswami, who is able to peep in the heart of the pure devotees and telling their prayers actually. So that is the glory of Bhagavatam. So wherever prayers come, we should be very thinking. What are their thought process, how they respond. So that is the glory of Bhagavatam. And no other scripture can do that. Right? So that's why it's very important. That is glory of Bhagavatam, which we must reflect as a proper culture. So text 2. Chapter 16 entitled Praise of King Prithu by the professional reciters. Nalam vayam te mahiman varnani yo deva varyo vavatara mayaya venangajatasya cha paurushani te vachaspatinaam api prabhrumurdhiyah. Someone can read the translation. 4, 5 verses or 3 verses. Yes.
Will I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please.
The reciters continued, Dear King, you are a direct incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, and by his causeless mercy you have descended on this earth. Therefore, it is not possible for us to actually glorify your exalted activities. Although you have appeared through the body of King Vena, even great orators and speakers like Lord Brahma and other demigods cannot exactly describe the glorious activities of your lordships.
Yeah. So see what they are saying. Na alam vayam te mahiman varnani. We are not capable. Na alam is not sufficient, not able to mahima anuvarnani, to constantly glorify you, describe you. Who are you? Yad Deva Varya is Deva Varya, the foremost among the Devas, and who has descended, Avatatar. And how did he come alone? No, he came with Mayaya. So Yo Deva Varyo Avatara Mayaya. Mayaya means his internal potency, Archi. So we already saw that it is Shaktavish avatar. So Vishnu's Shakti is empowered into a Jiva, and goddess for fortune is empowering Archi. So Maya is that internal potency. That is one meaning of Maya, and another meaning also is by causeless mercy. So both meanings are there. Prabhupada is. So Prabhupada elaborates that in purport. That what is this Maya? It is not external energy. Then we call generally Maya, right? So it is not that energy. Just as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, no? What is that? When I appear, 4.6 or 7. What is that verse? Where Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. So same thing. So that is the second line. Who else you are? Venanga Jatasya. So you have appeared in a very mystic way when the sages churned the Vena's body. Right? And the activities, so why we cannot describe you? We know your birth, it is only very unique, mystic, right? Janma karma cha me divya. But karma is also divya. Paurushani te. Paurushani are the activities. So what Prabhupada is saying here, Paurushani, glorious activities. Right? And why you say like that you cannot describe? See, Vachaspati nam babramaham. See, Brahmaji, Vachaspati is those who are expert orators. They have Vak Shakti in them. Right? Vak Shakti is the most powerful Shakti in this world. Who had this Vak Shakti? Anyone knows? This one of Hitler had that. Hitler, you know, how much influence he could create on people because of Vak. So orators, Vachaspati. With that. So they also become bewildered with their intelligence and mind by your activities. So who are we? Sut Magad Vandis. So we have no qualification, capability or ability to glorify him. So that is what is the mood. So Brahmaji also says that in his beautiful prayer set, 10, 14, 2 and 48. These are very beautiful prayers by Brahma. So you can see them. Then anyone knows what Brahmaji says about Krishna's activities? Yes. So he got bewildered by Krishna activity, right? Brahma Vimohan Leela, the most important Leela for all of us, because it depicts the Vrindavan, glory of Vrindavan. Right? So what was Brahmaji's realization? So that is told in this 10, 14, 2. So this is when Brahmaji has completely become humble. 10.14.2. And I think you are able to see. I am just sharing the screen. So first verse is also beautiful. He is offering obeisances to Vrindavan Krishna, which is son of Nanda Maharaj. Naumidhyate brahvavushe tadidambaraya gunjavatam sa paripichala sanmukha. Vannesraje kavala vetra vishana venu Lakshmi Shriye Mrudupade Pashupangayaya. Pashupangayaya. So it is not Vishnu, it is Krishna. It is not just Krishna, it is Vrindavan Krishna, which is Kavala Vetra, which is Pashupa Angaja. So Pashupa is Nand Maharaj, Angaja is his son. So he is glorifying beauty of Krishna and his connection with Vrindavan. And second verse he is revealing this feeling of incapability. अस्यापि देववपुषो मदनुग्रहस्य स्वेच्छामयस्य न तु भूतमयस्य कोऽपि नीशे वसितुं मनसान्तरेण साक्षात् तवैव किमुतात्मसुखानुभूतेः. Yeah, please read.
My dear Lord, neither I nor anyone else can estimate the potency of this transcendental body of yours, which has shown such mercy to me and which appears just to fulfill the desires of your pure devotees. Although my mind is completely withdrawn from material affairs, I cannot understand your personal form. How then could I possibly understand the happiness you experience within yourself?
So he cannot understand his personal form, neither the happiness of Lord. And what to speak of activities? So he was bewildered by the Gopas taking prasadam together, isn't it? Right? So he was bewildered by that. So that's why he's saying that I can't understand your activities. Then what to speak of happiness you and your pure devotees are enjoying? I can't understand that. I just broke that happiness and I stole the this thing. So Krishna was eating so much of juta of his friends. Right? So he is very sane. And then there is another verse what is the number I showed? What is the another number I showed? Anyone knows? 10,
38, Prabhuji, 38.
38. Yeah. So this is the beautiful verse. Jananta eva janantu kim bahuktya na me prabhu manaso vapusho vacho vaibhavam tava gochara. Yeah, please read.
There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. O my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words.
Yeah. So the person whom is the source of every living entity in this world, he is telling that your opulences and the activities which you with that, they are beyond my reach of mind, body, words. Then anyone created by him can understand any of it? No. But there are some people who say, Jananta, let them Jananta eva Janantu. Let them think that way. I will respect them from distance. So anyone who says, I know Krishna, he doesn't know Krishna. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says many places. So that is what is echoed by our bards here in this chapter. Brahma and all, they are not knowing. Then if we cannot know, then how we can glorify, right? So Prabhupada, see, these two purports are very important. Next verse also. We will see that. So first part of purport of Prabhupada. So here I have written these two verses, and there is, so this is Brahmaji is asking all that, before. He has heard all the knowledge from Lord, still he is saying. So Prabhupada says this already I explained to you. So you can just glance through that. And last part, Prabhupada says that if the demigods cannot find adequate language to express the glories of Lord, then what to speak of others? Consequently, reciters like Suta Magadha felt inadequate to speak about King Prithu. So Prabhupada is saying Brahma, Shiva, Shiva Virinchinutam Sharanyam. It's a beautiful verse Prabhupada is quoting. So, yeah, please read this portion. Very important. By glorifying.
By glorifying the Lord with exalted verses, one becomes purified. Although we are unable to offer prayers to the Lord in an adequate fashion, our duty is to make the attempt in order to purify ourselves. It is not that we should stop our glorification because demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot adequately glorify the Lord. Rather, as stated by Prahlad Maharaj, everyone should glorify the Lord according to his own ability. If we are serious and sincere devotees, the Lord will give us the intelligence to offer prayers properly.
Yeah. So that is it's our duty, so that we glorify. So actually, this is the mood of a Sankirtan person. That I am not qualified, I am contaminated. Still, I will do glorification as duty. So that should be the breathing of a person who is trying to chant the holy names or chant the holy fame of Lord. But he is thinking to impress others, the whole thing is gone. Because whose glory? Our own glory. I will speak in such a way to impress people so that I will become glorified. It's a finished, the complete opposite feeling is there, right? So that is what is the mood of the mood is, let me do my duty, let me attempt, and to purify my heart, right? So that's what is the mood. So Prahlad Maharaj, where he says, so whenever Prabhupada says that, we should think about, okay, where Prahlad Maharaj is saying this. So that can be thought. So there is a wonderful verse which I will just indicate, you can read on your own. That is the prayers Prahlad Maharaj is preparing to pray. 7.9.8 to 12. So that is the mood of a person who wishes to glorify, because he was requested by Brahmaji to pacify the Lord. And then he says, who am I? This all demigods started. They can't, how I can do? But still I will do. Tasmataham vigata viklava ishwarasya sarvatmana mahi grinami yatha manisham. So we recite this verse in the beginning. So that's what Prabhupada is quoting here. Prahlad Maharaj says, I will do it because my heart will get purified by that. So that's what. Puyetahi puman anuvarnite. So yatha manisham. By my own ability, I will try to glorify Lord. So that's why prayers are very important actually. Prayers are not just, there is some statement, very nice statement to capture the mood of prayer. Is prayer is not a, what we call in four-wheeler, we have a wheel which is kept, when puncture hota hai tabhi lagate. Kya bolte? Stephanie. What we call that wheel? In two-wheeler we call Stephanie, right? In four-wheeler what we say? Stephanie only. So I think you understood. So prayers are not like that Stephanie, but they are the main four wheels on which our bhakti is happening. So it's a very important to offer prayers, and we have to learn from Bhagavatam characters what to offer, how to offer, what to aspire for, in what mood. So that's what they are taking. So as I said, Sankirtana mission and Sankirtana mood both has to be understood properly. So Kirtaniya Sada Hari is the mission. So we want to do lot of Sankirtan in different ways. The mood is third verse. So Lord Chaitanya depicted that. In this yatra, Maharaj was saying that when one is doing Sankirtan in right mood, what is going to happen? So when the deers and the lions or tigers, they forgot their previous conditionings when Lord told them, you chant Krishna's name. So they forgot that and they embraced each other. Then Maharaj said, what excuse we have for our fights? We have conditionings, but what excuse we have? So these are not just stories like that Maharaj was telling in the Yatra. When you are depicting Lord Chaitanya going in Jharkhand forest. So we remember, deer is thinking, this tiger has eaten my father and his forefather also. Such kind of thought might be there in deer, but he forgot that. He embraced the deer, tiger, right? And tiger is seeing. So their conditionings are deeper than our conditioning. But they are not fighting. What excuse we have for having such conflicts and all? So it's a very eye-opening statement that we might do a lot of Sankirtan, but if we are not having unity and among differences, then we are not doing Sankirtan. It's Samakirtan, you know. So this was the title of the brilliant lecture given by His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj in ISKCON Leadership Sangha. So there is Sankirtan and there is Samakirtan. So if right mood is not there, it's some kirtan which is happening. It is not Sankirtan. Because there is no proper mood and appreciation of differences and respect for each other, no unity. That is some kirtan. Some kirtan is going, which we think as Sankirtan. No. So it has to be having right spirit. So that spirit is told by here by Prabhupada. And the next verse is telling about why still they are doing. So Lord may ask, hey, you are not qualified now. Why you are glorifying me then? Prithu Maharaj may ask. So they are answering in the next verse. So she here, Vishwanath Chakra, okay, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur ne, one Acharya says that Prithu Maharaj may ask. I think Siddharth Swami. So they are replying in that. That's why it begins with Athapi. Athapi means Tathapi. Tapi Athapi similar. Nevertheless, still we are not qualified. Na alam vayam me mahima. But text 3. Athapyudara shravasah pruthor harehe kalavatarasya kathamritadritaah यथोपदेशं मुनिभिः प्रचोदिताः श्लाघ्यानि कर्माणि वयं वितन्महि. Please read translation.
Although we are unable to glorify you adequately, we nonetheless have a transcendental taste for glorifying your activities. We shall try to glorify you according to the instructions received from authoritative sages and scholars. Whatever we speak, however, whatever we speak, however, is always inadequate and very insignificant. Dear King, because you are a direct incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all your activities are liberal and ever laudable.
Yeah. So here they are telling Prithu Maharaj, my dear Prithu Maharaj, we are glorifying because we are instructed. Yathopadesham munibihi. And we don't want to disobey their order. We are fearing to disobey the orders of the sages. Yathopadesham munibihi. So Yatha Upadesham means according to their instruction of Munis, the sages who have told us, who have churned the body, they are only telling us. And not only they are telling, my dear Prathu Maharaj, Prachoditaha, they are inspiring us from our heart also, what we should speak. Right? So Prachodita is being encouraged within. Prakrushta ropena choditaha. So it is not just inspired, it is inspiration within heart. Right? So that is the, when one remembers the instructions and the personalities of pure devotees, they inspire us to glorify. They can give us the words also. So not only we are instructed, we are within encouraged and inspired within our heart about your activities which are going to happen in future. Shlaghani karmani vayam. Very laudable activity. Shlaghya. Shlagha is laudable. Vayam vitanmahi. So we will elaborately describe. Vitanmahi shall try to spread. So this is the mood. Try to spread, not just spread. So that is one thing. That is the first and foremost. We are instructed. But my dear Puthu Maharaj, we are not just instructed. We just did little glorification and it is so delightful to our heart. Kathamritadritaha. So when we are glorifying your katha, it is so delightful to our heart. Amrita, kathamrita dritaha. So it's very nectarian for us. So our instruction is one thing, but it is giving right experience also to us. So that's why we will glorify you. And how are you? You are Udara Shravasa. Udara are the liberal. So Prabhupada is putting these two things together, like liberal and laudable. That is Udara Shravasa and Shlagyani. So Udara Shravasa is the adjective. So this adjective comes at many places in Bhagavatam. Similarly, Shravasa, Udara Shravasa. One whose fame is very liberal, or and when one hears that fame, he also becomes liberal naturally, right? So that is Prutho Hare. And who are you? You are Pruthu, okay, but you are Hare Kalavatar only. So that's why your Kathamrut is delighting us. So we are instructed, we are inspired and encouraged from within about your future activities which are laudable and liberal. You are avatar of Lord and it is giving us delight also. That's why we will speak your glories. So this is the mode of a proper glorified Kirtani. So the sages have entered our hearts, and according to their instructions only we offer praise. So we are not speculating. We are not going to speculate anything. That is, so Sut Goswami's Mangalacharan, if you say, it's the most beautiful prayer to be chanted by all the preachers. This is told by Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti. This is in first canto. Yapraprajanta manapeta apeta. So he's saying, Yam sarva bhuta hridayam munimanatosmi. So my dear Shukdev Goswami, please enter into, see, you could enter the hearts of the trees and respond to pacify Ved Vyas by saying Putra Putra. So you have ability to enter hearts of anyone and everyone, including trees. I am dull like a tree. Please enter in my heart and speak. And you enter in the audience heart and satisfy their questions. I can't do anything. This is the Sud Goswami's consciousness. So the sages have entered our hearts is not just to say. This is experience and prayer of Suta Goswami. That my dear Shukdev Goswami, please enter my heart, which is dull like a tree, and you speak, and you enter the audience heart and satisfy them. So that is the mood in which this prayer is spoken. Yapraprajantamanapeta apeta dvaipayano virahakatar ajuha. Putra putra putreti tanmayataya tarabobhinedus tam sarvabhuta hridayam manimantos. So that is glory of Shukdev Goswami. So that is the mood of Sut Goswami, who was attentively hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was empowered voluntary by Shukdev Goswami in the 12th canto that he will speak that to Shaunakadi Rishis. So that is what it. So that's what, it's not just a saying entered our heart. So Prabhupada's purport is very, very important here for all the preachers or all of you are doing Bhakti Vaibhav course. Right? It's very important. What should be the content of this speech? The intention and the consciousness was discussed. What should be the content and how it should come? That is Prabhupada is telling in this purport. Right? So this is the mood of the previous verse. Even though we are never become qualified, but still we should attempt to please the Lord, because Lord will be happy if we try. Then you see, this is Srimad Bhagavatam purport, what Prabhupada is telling. Lord Chaitanya has advised all his followers to go everywhere and preach the message of Lord Krishna. Jare dekhe tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Hamara agya guru hayya tara desh. So it's good to think this, that I want to become spiritual master. But what you want to speak, Prabhu? Our speak should be Krishna Upadesh, not your Upadesh. Krishna Upadesh means Bhagavad Gita. That's what Prabhupada is telling. Since this message is essentially Bhagavad Gita. So what is our first duty? So Prabhupada, right in Bhagavatam 4th canto, he is telling that the preacher's duty is to study Bhagavad Gita as it is, understood by disciplic succession and explained by great sages and learned devotees. So we have to first properly not just read, but study. Not just study, but understand. Not just understand, but understand as per the previous acharyas and Prabhupada and learned devotees. It is not just understanding Bhagavad Gita as it is relevant for current public. That is okay. That is second step. First step is what Krishna is speaking. Actually, that has to be understood. And that understanding will come when we hear the explanation of Gita from great sages and learned devotees. Because they will not speak anything apart from the parampara. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. And that is what is meaning of following Guru Sadhu Shastra. One should speak to the general populace in accordance to one's predecessors. Not that we dilute and change the message. No. Nowadays, lot of such things are happening. It gives great pain to the ear and the heart. That people are speaking so many things on the name of Gita. But we offer respects to them from distance. And we appreciate their endeavor for glorifying Gita. But Prabhupada wants us to glorify, to tell Krishna's message, not our message. The way I understood. No, what you can understand. Krishna's message has to be given. So, this is the case. And then Prabhupada says, this simple process is the easiest method by which one can glorify the Lord. So, this is simple process and easiest method by which we can glorify Lord. So, basically, we don't speak. That's the part. We repeat Guru Sadhu Shastra. Even if people are bored, no problem. We will repeat Guru Sadhu Shastra life after life. No problem. That's why, because Prabhupada will be happy. Whether the audience is happy doesn't matter. Prabhupada will be happy. Previous acharyas will be happy. And same thing Srila Prabhupada says here. You can see 1:17:13 purport. So he says that there are two kinds of Krishna Katha. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone to be informed of both Krishna Kathas by his order. So same verse Prabhupada is quoting here. Rather he is telling Bharata Bhumite Manushya Janmaya Janma Sarthak Kari Karo Paropkar. Right? So meaning of that verse, Prabhupada is telling this in this. So can you please read this highlighted portion? Lord Chaitanya.
Lord Chaitanya desired that all who are born in India seriously understand such Krishna Kathas, and then, after full realization, preach the transcendental message to everyone in all parts of the world. That will bring about the desired peace and prosperity of the stricken world.
Yeah. So you see, what are these two Krishna Kathas? One is Bhagavad Gita, one is Bhagavatam. That's what he talks in. This is the purport number you can see. So two Krishna Kathas is Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So it is not just understand, seriously understand. And Gita and Bhagavatam. And then after full realization, preach the message to everyone. So that will bring about the proper result which he is expecting. Otherwise, it can bring about so many other things which we don't want to talk. So that's why same thing is echoed here. So devotional service, however, is the real method for which devotional service one can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead just in few words. So now Prabhupada is telling about we should not just be uh, in the mood of I will know, read many things and speak many newer and newer things and all that. No, that should not be the mood. Without devotional service, volumes of book cannot satisfy the Lord. So even the preachers of Krishna consciousness movement may be unable to describe the glories of Lord, they can nonetheless go everywhere and request people to chant Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada is bringing the point to giving the holy name. So why he is saying that? So see, the holy name creates the sukruti to hear and understand Harikatha. And by hearing Harikatha, we can chant holy name properly. So that's how it happens. So that's why Harinam and Hari Prasad are the way to enter open the heart of the audience. And when the heart opens, one gives Harikatha. And of course, it tells to chant Hare Krishna, surely. So both things are important. That's how Prabhupada is writing this purport. Very important. So now, fourth verse onwards, 8 verses are going to tell about the qualities. Further. So now let us go ahead. एष धर्मभृतां श्रेष्ठो लोकं धर्मानुवर्तयन् गोप्ता च धर्मसेतूनां शास्ता तत्परिपन्थिनाम्. Yeah, someone else can read now. No one else wants to read.
This king, Maharaj Prutu, is the best among those who are following religious principles. As such, he will engage everyone in the pursuit of religious principles and give those principles all protection. He will also be a great chastisizer to the irreligious and atheistic.
Yeah. So now they started glorifying. The first thing is because he is Palana Shakti avatar, right? So he is going to teach Shaktavesh of how to be the ideal king, how to rule, how to administer, how to reward, how to punish, and how to establish dharma. So the first glorification is Esha means this, this king Prithu. Esha means they are showing by hand. Esha. Esha dharma bhutam shreshta. He is person dharma bhutam. He is the best among those who execute religious principles. Because he is going to help others also to follow dharma. Anuvartayan. And he will engage everyone. Lokam means all worlds, not just one world. Gopta cha dharma setuna. So he will protect those who practice religion. So that's why here comes the point of dharmo rakshati rakshata. So anyone who practices dharma will be protected by the system of Lord. Because Lord's nature is Gopta cha dharma setuna. Anyone who follows religion, let the whole world around you don't follow. You follow, Krishna will protect you. That is what is personally. So Gopta cha dharma setuna. And those who don't follow, tat paritanthinam shasta. So he will chastise them, those who don't follow dharma. In this dangerous age of Kali, it's not very easy to follow dharma. But we need faith actually. When we are into our occupations, we will see all around us so many adharmas are done in kilo में करते हैं लोग, right? But we should not be like that. We have to have faith that let them do because they are ignorant. But I am not ignorant. They may be innocent, they may be ignorant, or they may be illusioned. But at least I am not ignorant. Let me not do that. So that is what is the point. So Prabhupada in these purports expresses his great concern of current wrong leadership and what should be the solution. That is the theme of the next purports now. Because this is the Palan, right? He speaks about government, he speaks about leadership, he speaks about taxes, he speaks about utility of funds and all that. So these are all purports in that direction. So Prabhupada writes about the precarious condition and what should be done. So the duty of king or head of government is described very nicely in this verse. So this is what should be the discussion actually. So this is the duty of king. King should do this thing. That he should see that people are following dharma. And what dharma? Yesterday there was lecture of Srila Prabhupada in our temple. And Prabhupada said, what is, we follow Sanatan Dharma. What is Sanatan Dharma? Varnashram Dharma, Prabhupada says. Because there is prescription of each thing, who is supposed to do what, right? So that's what one has to go in that direction. 50% of right now, the whole society is confused, Prabhupada says, because of lack of this scientific system of varnashram. Individually and collectively, people are confused about मैं को क्या करना है, what I am supposed to do. So Prabhupada is saying that it's king's duty to establish this religious life. And that is called Brahmanical culture. Brahmanical culture means varnashram system. So that's what is the head's responsibility. And he should chastise those who don't follow and so on. But currently what is happening on the name of secular, these things are happening. The king or governmental head remains in neutral and allows people to engage in all sorts of religious activities. Such state people cannot be happy despite all economic development. See, this is so applicable currently, right? All economic development is there, but where is the contentment? Where is the satisfaction? And where is the question of happiness, right? Ashantasya kuta sukham, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. First one is to be satisfied, then there is further thing, right? So that is what is told here. So secular, so to say, secular is very, very dangerous. Prayers are being removed from the schools on the name of secularism. I want to speak of so many other things. Neutral. So people cannot be happy without dharma. And dharma, so dharma has layered meanings, right? So what is the lowermost and what is highermost? So it begins with, dharma begins with believing on existence of God, believing on God, obeying God, next level. Then believing on God, obeying God, then knowing God, then serving God, and then loving God. This is dharma in progress. So anyone who is doing any of it is all following dharma.
Sorry to disturb you. Please, this is a very profound statement. Can I repeat, Prabhu, please?
See, first is belief on God. That is beginning of dharma. Because why people are not following? Because they don't believe on the existence only, who has made the laws. So first belief has to become, and that comes by knowledge, right? Knowledge in terms of knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Believe on God. That's why Prabhupada gave so much of importance to BI, right? Because Prabhupada wanted to instill or inject into their intelligence that God exists. So belief is first. When you believe, naturally what you will do? Obey. You start obeying what he says. And that's the beginning of religion. And can we obey everything? We have to begin obeying something. Then gradually we can make progress. That's why there is entire Vedic literature actually to raise us. So Tamogun also is there. If he obeys some Purana, he will progress. So that's the beauty of Vedic literature. Tamogun, Rajogun, Sattvagun, transcendence. They are all obey. Somewhere they should obey. So obey a lot. Then what? Know Lord. Knowledge of Lord. Knowing Lord. So he starts obeying, then he understands, okay, who is God? Let me understand. It was very rare to understand God properly. What to speak of Krishna? That is the most difficult thing in this world to understand. Krishna. And then, so believe, obey, know, and then servitude. As soon as you know Krishna, you will serve Krishna. Can't do anything other than that. Service to Krishna. And by that service to Krishna, love for Krishna. So this is the progressive path of religion. So dharma is not, so Sanatan dharma is a very broad concept. It was all accommodative, it was not forceful, it was proper system with Krishna's system in place of Varnashrama, etc. Right? So that's what Prabhupada is going to speak in all these purports. That's why I elaborated little more than what you asked for. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. So going further, so Prabhupada, actually see Prabhupada's faith here. So he says all that rogues and thieves, you see. However, in this age of Kali, there is no happiness. There are no pious king. Instead, rogues and thieves are related to head of government. But how can people happy without religion? The rogues exact taxes from citizens for their own sense enjoyment. And in future, the people will be so much harassed that according to Srimad Bhagavatam, they will flee from their homes and country to take shelter in forest. Right? But see now you read Prabhupada's statement, Prabhupada's faith you see here. However, in Kali Yuga, democratic government can be captured by Krishna conscious people. So we need politician devotees, Prabhu. Right? Prabhupada is saying that Krishna conscious people should capture the democratic government. Right? And if this can be done, the general populace can be made very happy. So long way to go. What Prabhupada wants us is not just to preach to class of people, not certain people, certain portion of audience. No, society, international society for Krishna consciousness. Means entire society Prabhupada wants to create. So that's why we need devotees who will enter into politics. And Prabhupada started that, but it didn't work out very well that time. Right? But it can work because Prabhupada is saying, first 10,000 years it is going to happen. So, and there are states now where there are some great level politicians are devotees in other countries, right? Isn't it? Which country there is some devotee Mataji is there, I think. Right?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay.
Yeah, where is that? In US or UK? UK.
US.
US, right? So we think that, array, what is this politics? No, but it's happened already. You see? So that is the case. So we should not be so much into mood of criticizing some person who has a Kshatriya bent and he wants to do a devotee who wants to do something in this field should be encouraged in that direction. No problem. Prabhupada wants like that. Text 5. Eshavailokapalanam vivartyaktaikastanotanuh kale kale yatha bhagam lokayor bhayor hitam. Yeah, please continue. Who was ready? Please continue, Prabhu. Oh, you are mute, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, yes, Prabhu. This king alone in his own body will be able in due course of time to maintain all living entities and keep them in a pleasant condition by manifesting himself as different demigods to perform various departmental activities. Thus, he will maintain the upper planetary system by inducing the populace to perform various sacrifices. In due course of time, he will also maintain this earthly planet by discharging proper rainfall.
Yeah. So Prabhupada, in translation, he has added purport of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So Eshavai, the same person indeed, certainly. What he will do, he will have all the demigods in him. Because Lord, he has all devatas within, right? all the demigods, Vibharti, he bears in his body. And in the course of time, Kale Kale Yatha Bhagam Lokayoho Ubhayoho Hitam. So Ubhayaha Lokaha means this world, which is earth, and the higher planets of Devatas. So both Ubhayor Loka Hitam he will do. And he will offer, so Bhagam, Yatha Bhagam. So this is elaborated by Vishwanath, which is told by Srila Prabhupada in this translation only. So Ubhayo Loka means in these lokas, people will do sacrifice by which demigods will get their shares, right? And then demigods will shower the rain and other things. So this is paraspara dependence. So this is what third chapter Bhagavad Gita says. 3.10 to 16 is nothing but this one. That human life is meant for sacrifice. Whether you have material desires or not, it is meant for sacrifice. So there are different kinds of sacrifices which has to be done according to the level of the person and according to varna and ashrama of a person. So, but human life is of sacrifice. If you don't do that, then there is no purification. So because sacrifice means obedience to Lord. And obedience to Lord means purification. And there is, by disobeying the Lord, we can never become purified. So that's why our occupations also has to be in line with Lord's desire. Otherwise, what happens is we are doing devotional service and we are doing something which unwillingly it is kind of supporting those who disobey the Lord, right? So it will have effect or not. Naturally, it will have effect. So it's very important. So doing sacrifice. So that's how Prabhupada is saying. So he will maintain them. How? So upper planetary system by inducing populace to perform Vedic sacrifices and by providing rain. Right? So annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava. Yajnat bhavati parjanya yajna karma samadbhava. So one has to act according to sacrifice. So prescribed duty. So that's why it's very important actually to do right occupations or try to go in that direction of right occupations. Then this unconducive occupation. So this is how he will do. So Prabhupada quotes all that which I just now said about the cycle 10 point, no, the third chapter, so 3.10 to 16 I was telling. So that's how it starts. So consequently, the incarnation of Godhead is able to act for the departmental demigods to keep the planetary systems in order. Right? So it's so rain doesn't happen by planting trees. Rain happens by doing yajna. And yajna is told in the Vedas for everyone. What is karma? So yajna karma samadbhava. Karma is given in Vedas. Prescribed duties. So do prescribed duties, that becomes yajna. So yajna will give rain and rain will give anna. And anna will give proper health. Any anna which is not produced of this yajna will create cancer. Simple. As simple as that. We may see so much Harit Kranti has happened. All horrible Kranti has happened. Not Harit Kranti. Because it's not according to Lord. How it can be Kranti? Now they are understanding that it is not Harit Kranti. It is horrible Kranti. And so this has to be followed. And then Prabhupada comes naturally that along with that we have to do the greatest sacrifice. That is Harer Nama, Harer Nama. So thus proper execution of yajna is required.
So, Broji, I have a short question.
Yes,
Like we see in Kali Yuga, the formal yajna is not there, but
yes,
still rain is coming.
yes.
So, is it we should understand that a few devotees who are doing Harinam, it is because of them that the rain is coming? Can we say that assertively?
Yes, this is a one part of understanding of rains. That yes, out of gratitude for the pure devotees bhajan, Krishna is
Mm-hmm.
maintaining other fellows like all of us or
Ah,
those who are committing sins. So surely this is right thought. However, there is another thought along with this. What is that? Can anyone wants to say some words about rains? What would happen earlier and how it is happening now? Here the word for rain is what? Parjanya, right? It is not Varsha. Varsha and Parjanya, what is the difference? So when one, yes, bro.
No, no, I didn't know. Just I was curious.
Yeah. So Varsha is just rain falling at any time, rather wrong time. So wrong time rain helps you or not, or it destructs the problem. It creates problem. Or
Destroys.
so don't go by externals. Rain is happening, but when it is happening? Is it happening timely? Not many times. So Parjanya is a timely rain for the crops, for the everything. It is said that in Yudhishthir Maharaj times the rains would happen in the night. You know, so the daytime things will happen. So the point what I'm trying to say is Parjanya and Varsha is different. Dhana and Lakshmi is different. Or sorry, Dhana and Artha. So you may see a lot of Dhana, but that Dhana is not giving any satisfaction. What to speak of happiness? But Artha is that which is born of Dharma. That one can become satisfied and content. So you may see things, but they are not giving the effects which they promise. Right? So what is Krishna's system? Is this system which is told in this verse. That system has to be followed to get proper person. And then you may say that, how many of us can follow? Others will not follow. What is use? No, you follow. Krishna will reciprocate with you. He can do that. He can do that. No problem. Whole world do something wrong. Krishna is telling, I'll follow. So that this is another thought, Prabhuji, about the rains which we are observing.
Yes, Proji. So nicely said, Proji. So I never thought of that. So rain is there, but rain at wrong time creates more destruction. So that is because of the sinful activities.
Yes, that's the thing. So much of destruction is happening now, not just for crops, for the cities also, right? For so many things are happening. It creates so much of inconvenience, right? At wrong time rains. So that is the case. And that's how I connected it to Artha and Dhana also. Right? Varsha and Parjanya. That so it's all connected to Dharma. Dharma is prescribed by Krishna. That is the thing. Dharma has to be followed. Yes, Shobha Lakshmi Mataji, you have something to say?
Prabhuji, I just wanted to share in one lecture I heard that like nowadays how it is the nature is responding to our misdeeds, that when someone comes to our house and we offer a glass of water with respect, so that is different. And when someone comes to our house and we take water and throw it on his face, and that is different. So that way it is raining nowadays.
Oh, my Lord, Krishna, it's amazing. It's very graphic, huh? So, like throwing the glass of water on face, that kind of rain is happening now.
Yes, very nice.
My Lord, amazing. May I know who is the wonderful devotee who shared that?
Prabhuji, this I heard many years ago in Balgovind Prabhuji's class.
Oh, wonderful. So wonderfully thought of Balgovind Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's why he's establishing dharma. Right now, Balgovind Prabhu is going to the root of dharma. That is, the children are educated in Gurukula. See, the bamboo which becomes old is very difficult to bend. You can't go to dharma so easily. But that's how he is into Gurukula, right? So people will be educated at right time, then they can do dharma very easily. According to their nature, they are engaged. So thank you very much, Mataji, for that part of Shriman Bal Govind Prabhu. Yes, so let us go ahead. And along with this, as I told here, so Prabhupada is saying, as indicated, King Pruthu alone would induce all citizens to engage in sacrificial activities so that there would be no scarcity or distress. You see? So of course there is whole episode which is going to come. What are the challenges of yajna, right? So Indra is going to become insecure because of that yajna. So that is another problem. But point is scarcity and distress will go away by these two. So scarcity is because of not doing dharma. And then Prabhupada is telling, in Kali Yuga, however, so-called secular state, the executive branch of government is in charge of so-called kings and presidents who are all fools and rascals, ignorant of intricacies of nature causes and ignorant of the principles of sacrifice. So this is our responsibility, Prabhus. We are not ignorant because we are reading this today, Prabhupada's words. So we have to understand the intricacies of nature, how it is working. It is not working according to science, it is working according to Krishna's instructions. Science will understand some part of Krishna's instruction, not full. So we have to understand the intricacies of nature's causes, that why it is happening. And then we have to do sacrifice. These two things are separated by Prabhupada. So we have to be educated ourselves and educate the next generation in these two. That how this world is working with the demigods in place, the Supreme Lord and the Yajna. And you should do Yajna. So that's the part. Such rascals simply makes various plans which always fail and the people subsequently suffer. So that's what. And then Prabhupada says to counteract this situation, Shastra's advice, Hare Nama, Iva Keval. So, with all that, the foundation of all this practice is we are standing on the holy name and holy fame of the Lord. Shravanam and Kirtanam is the foundation of all this. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. And we cannot say that, okay, I am chanting holy name, I don't need to do any no dharma according to what is prescribed because it's transcendental. That is not the case. That is not the case. If you are instructed by Guru, then it's okay. Otherwise, we have to be doing things which are instructed and prescribed while engaged ourselves in Shravan Kirtan of holy name and holy fame. That is Sankirtan Yajna. Right? So that is only hope. Because that will create receptivity for us and receptivity for others. Right? So that's the point of all dharmic principles. Text 6. Vasukala upadatte kale chayam vimunchati samah sarveshu bhuteshu pratapan suryavad vibhu. Yeah, please read. Oh, one more.
This king Prithu will be as powerful as the sun god, and just as the sun god equally distributes sunshine to everyone, King Prithu will distribute his mercy equally. Similarly, just as the sun god evaporates water for 8 months and during the rainy season returns it profusely, this king will also exact taxes from the citizens and return those monies in times of need.
Yeah. So he is like sun. So now previous verse told that he is body of all demigods. Now everything will be told very clearly. He is like sun, he is like earth, he is like Varuna, he is like Indra, and so on. Like that. Because he has all of them in him. So here it is about sun. So just as sun for more than 8 months, it will show so much of sunshine that it will evaporate the water and collect the water in clouds. But in the rainy season, it will give back all the water. Similarly, he will exact the taxes and use the taxes for welfare and the maintenance and happiness of the citizens. So that's what is this verse is telling. Samaha, just as sun is Samaha Sarveshu Bhuteshu. He will not be partial to people, right? Like sun is impartial, Prithu is impartial. So he will evaporate, means he will take taxes, but he will distribute equally to others. So that's why tax paying is, see, Varnashram Dharma, this is very systematic, right? So that's how the others are maintained actually, right? So let us see, so Prabhupada elaborates the tax things in his purport. Thus, the proper execution here, the process, see Prabhupada so nicely, the process of tax exaction is very nicely explained in this verse. So, I explained already, tax revenues should be distributed to the citizens at the time of need during emergencies such as famine and flood. Right? So, that is so revenues of the taxes. An example of sun is appropriate. So he elaborates, which I already said. So he has quality of earth, of titiksha.
Prabhuji,
Yes, bro.
this chapter should be used by all our Indian government, you know. It's very ideal, can be used.
Yeah,
Very-
Prabhupada is shouting that only in the purports. But we have to see how we do that. We have to enter government, na? Or we have to have friends in government who are heart to heart friends with our devotees. Then gradually it will enter. But now it's quite conducive environment in one sense in the center, right? So it's very actually blueprint of leadership is given in Bhagavad. So it's very relevant, very practical, right? So now earth tikshatakramam vainya uparyakramatamapि bhutanam karuna shashvat datanam artanam kshiti. Yeah, someone else can read now. Next three verses. Yes, please.
This King Prithu will be very, very kind to all citizens. Even though a poor man may trample over the king's head by violating the rules and regulations, the king, out of his causeless mercy, will be forgetful and forgiving. As a protector of the world, he will be as tolerant as earth itself. My God.
Yeah. So actually, this is a very amazing quality of the king. So here Prabhupada writes, so titiksha of earth, tolerance is greatest exhibited by earth because all demons and demigods, they all use the earth, right? How much exploitation is happening of Mother Earth? She is consort of Lord, right? So here, forgiveness and maintenance is told. Here you can see, as the ideal king, you can read from there. Yeah, read this portion. Very powerful.
Yes, Prabhu. Uh, as an ideal king, Prithu Maharaj is compared to the earthly planet. So even though some citizens might violate the rules and regulations of the state, he would still be tolerant and maintain them with fruits and grains. In other words, it is a duty of the king to look after the comforts of the citizen, even at the cost of his own personal convenience.
Yeah, so actually, this tolerance is even told to even rogues and thieves, right? There will be some fellows who will violate. So there is not, what is that? What we say? Utopia. It's not utopian situation. There will be some people who will not be followed, but there is some tolerance. There is forgiveness, and he maintains them also, right? But that doesn't mean he doesn't punish them. That punishment is already spoken earlier, right? So that's how it is a very practical thing. And then for pauper citizens, he will give comforts. And he will, so Lord Ram is there. And in Kali Yuga, so this is what is happening. Prabhupada has written before only, you see. And he is writing very practical things. So unfair taxation makes people dishonest. So what will happen? They will make more and more laws and more committees for catching people, and there will be more and more CAs which will teach how to circumvent the laws and save the tax, right? So people will become dishonest. People try to hide their incomes in so many ways. Isn't it happening? Eventually, the state will not be able to collect taxes and consequently will not be able to meet his huge military administrative expenses. Everything will collapse and there will be chaos and disturbance all over the state. So, has it happened in some country now? Isn't it? It has happened now.
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. I heard Sri Lanka also happened some years back.
Yeah, that's it.
And
It
so
is.
many countries it's happening. It's collapsing. Everything is collapsing. It's happening what Prabhupada is writing. Right? So we have to go in that direction in whatever way we can. Now he is like Indra. Deve varshata sau devo naradeva vapurharihi krucha pranaha praja yesha Rakshisyatyajase Indravat. Yeah, please
When there
continue.
is no rainfall and the citizens are in great danger due to the scarcity of water, this royal personality of Godhead will be able to supply rains exactly like the heavenly king Indra.
Yeah. So here there is amazing pastime. No, it is not for Puthu Maharaj. It is for Rishabh Dev, I think. So for Krishna, he showered so many rains like Indra. But for Rishabh Dev, he had stopped rain. But Rishabh Dev is also Lord. So he made the rain fall. So Prithu Maharaj is also. So he is like that. He will protect citizens by supplying the rain himself, like Indra. So because he is Shaktavish, he has that power and he will protect. So King Prithvi is very appropriately compared to Sun and Indra. Right? So Sun was previous as tax collector and Indra. So King Pruthu can do. If foretold herein that if there would be scarcity of rain, King Pruthu will manage the contract the deficiency by virtue of his godly powers. So you see previous verse and this verse, in future it will come. The earth, he is tolerant like earth, but same Pruthu broke his tolerance to become angry at earth. Right? But his anger was not the way we become angry. His anger was proper contemplation. And earth not given is also according to Lord's desire only. So Mother Earth also tells that why I am not giving because such fellows of Vena were there. Now you do sacrifice, I will give. So he milks the earth. So the tolerance is also not blind. He breaks that tolerance and becomes angry at earth. So his scarcity is there. He will make things flat and all that is there.
So also
Yes.
in the when the process of milking for the earth goes, that time different people get different benefits, right?
Yeah,
So
we
as
are
I,
going to go for that chapter. Next chapter is that one.
no, I'm just remembering this. He'll be tolerant. So there, sometimes it is said that they will get the a poison also and snake also. So they are also allowed to milk situationally because it's a part of the ecosystem, or let's say it is a part of tolerance of Sritu Maharaj. Just remembering this point actually.
Yeah, bro, the demons will always be there. Actually, see, ecosystem will go when demons and devotees both are there. So once devatas were killing the demons, all of them, then Narada or Brahma has to come. That enough. You keep some demons. Because the ecosystem should go on, right? So why demons should remain? Because the demoniac mentality should have the facility to have liberty of doing demoniac activities. If that is stopped, then what will happen? The demoniac things will enter into proper things. Just like having those days, there were prostitutes in the outside of the village or city, right? So if that is gone, then what happens? The people become promiscuous, right? So the system of Krishna is very systematic.
So
So that,
just wanted to share something if you allow.
yes,
One time, I think I heard somewhere some devotee was glorifying some Radhanath Maharaj point. So he was saying that one temple Maharaj went, and there was a lot of opposition from the outside communities, and So when Maharaj went there, I said, Maharaj said, yeah, you cooperate among yourself, and you will be able to reach nicely like that. And after some years, when Maharaj went, Maharaj is asking them, so how is your preaching? Maharaj said, the devotee said, Maharaj, there is no against now. We are all, everything is good now. And there is no opposition, everything is fine. Maharaj said, I am really worried now about you. Because when there is opposition outside, you are internally united. But when there is no opposition, then you internally quarrel and fight. I'm really worried about you now.
yes, very. It's in the same line actually. So the tests or the challenges are failure and success both. And success is a bigger challenge than failure actually. So it's well said. Thank you. So that's how he's saying. So we'll just go another 5 minutes since we started before. Please forgive me for that. Apyayat sau lokam vadanamritamurtina सानुरागावलोकेन विशदस्मितचारुणा. Yeah, please read.
Someone else will read, Prabhu. I have already read 2 shlokas. Otherwise, I can.
Three each.
Translation.
Yeah, let her read.
Fine, read Mataji, no problem.
Okay. This King Prithu Maharaj, by virtue of his affectionate glances and beautiful moon-like face, which is always smiling with great affection for the citizens, will enhance everyone's peaceful life.
So just as moon is warmth giving, see, sun is taxing, right? But because of sun, rains come. But the moon is what? Juice giving, warmth giving. So similarly, he will be like that through his affectionate dealings. And affectionate dealings are having glances and happy face. Yeah? So that's what. That's why he will able to please Praja. Charming, cheerful, and smile. Right? So that kind of disposition and his personality. Like Amrita Murti, that is moon. Amrita Murti means moon. So he's like moon. The 10th verse. Now 10th verse is like Varuna. अव्यक्तवत्मेष निगूढकार्यो गम्भीरवेधा उपगुप्तवित्तः अनन्तमहात्म्यं गुणैकधाम पृथोप्रचेता इव संवृतात्मा.
Translation. The reciters continued, no one will be able to understand the policies the king will follow. His activities will also be very confidential, and it will not be possible for anyone to know how he will make every activity successful. His treasury will always remain unknown to everyone. He will be the reservoir of unlimited glories and good qualities, and his position will be maintained and covered just as Varuna, the deity of the seas, is covered all around by water.
Yeah. So it's amazing verse. So see, ocean has so many things within it, right? There are jewels and there are fishes. There are so many plants which are valuable, which are poisonous, which are so there are fish also like. But ocean is such a deep and vast, right? Similarly, he will be such a deep and vast. Actually, Mahatma means what? His mind is very Vistirna Gadha Manasa. This is called Mahatma. So, what we say broad minded, right? So, his mind is wide and his mind is deep. Because of that, he can be respectful and well wisher of everyone. So, this is the foundational principle, and that is told in first 3 lines. That is Avyakta Vartma Isha. So, Prabhupada is translating very interestingly here because politician will like policies, right? So, Vartma is the path actually, but Prabhupada is bringing to policies because that's how king does. Right? So, no one will understand why this policy is made, for what purpose, but he will get the result of it because he knows. So, see, what is important is the rule maker than the rule. But the problem is person becomes doesn't know the rule maker clearly. So rule is made important and that creates all havoc actually. So first thing is his policies will not be understood. And then Niguda Karya and his activities. So I think which Acharya says the result of those activities no one will understand. But he knows what is happening. Gambhira Veda Upagupta Vitta. So he will have treasury which no one will know. So this goes to show that he will have very trustworthy people with him. See, he is not going to keep anything in his own pocket, right? Kingdom means he will have proper people in place, which are keeping confidentiality and all that. Upagupta Vitta, everything. So that's what he is going to act like that. Ananta Mahatmya Gunaika Dhama, because he is like that. So he is able to do. So anyone who follows this also is empowered by Lord to do it. So we see something similar in Shivaji Maharaj. Right? He was the last Rajarshi. So And he was also guided by proper sages like um, Tukaram Maharaj and Ramdas Swami, right? So they were guiding him. And of course, Jizau was there. So there was such amazing policy. I don't know, you know, Chauranga? No, Chauranga, someone does some molestation and wrong activity, his legs and hands will be cut and he will be put in front of temple. Everyone will see. Chauranga means, I don't know, you know Chauranga? Chauranga is the table which is with four legs. So the person will become like that. And temple place means everyone will see him. And he will ask what happened. No one will repeat that activity. And then it was misused by some prostitute. A prostitute misused that some other leaders is complained by prostitute to Jizao and Shivaji. And he forcefully approached me. Because she knew this policy is there, so she want to misuse it. Then the Jizao and Shivaji dealt with in such a way because they could sense that it is misused. So they just spoke and the thing was dealt and the prostitute was thrown away. You know, because she was misusing this. So in front of her, he was brought and now he was asked, so should we do Chauranga? You did that? No. So then she came to senses. No, 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 I lied. And then the prostitute was punished that now you go out of the city. So this is how the policies are applied by a person who knows dharma. So it will appear very this thing. So this one example I gave, which is very profound. So he could do it, right? So Prabhupada explains all this in his purport. That Varuna or Pracheta means Varuna, the predominant deity of oceans. Just as no one can understand what is going beneath the sea, no one could understand the policy of King Prithu was following to make everything successful. So now we can see that means I am not doing some advertisement or supporting some party, but the changing of the notes which is suddenly happened, right? So this is a master plan. So someone who is having understanding of dharma can act. So he has plans for 20 years. So such leadership is there currently actually, to some extent of Shastra. So King Pruthu's path of diplomacy was very grave. And his success was made possible because he was a reservoir of unlimited good qualities. So the keeping one's money very secretly is an old practice. For we find this practice present even during reign of Prithu Maharaj. So Prabhupada read Upagupta Vitta, entire purport is there. Because Vitta is life nowadays, right? So there is on a collective level also there is Vitta like this. Can you imagine the trustworthy relationships? Without that it can't happen. Right? It's not just, I will keep Vitta in nice tizori. It's not about having nice tizori actually. With 10 locks. It is not like that. Having right relationships is the point of keeping Vitta properly. Just as king has right to keep his treasury confidential and secret, the people should also keep their individual earnings secret. So Prabhupada is telling, there is no fault in such dealings. See, the main point is that everyone should be trained in the system of Varnashram Dharma so that money is spent only for good causes and nothing else. So I am just reading the last portion where Prabhupada is telling us what to do. Right? So that is what, how many times Prabhupada is telling that this is 50% of my work is remaining. He is loudly shouting here, everywhere. So let us try to understand and have faith on the system of Krishna and Prabhupada wanted and try to support that, try to work accordingly that, try to go closer to that and try to help others to go closer to that. That's what Prabhupada wants. So we'll pause here. Forgive me for extending more than time. So we covered 10 verses. So we'll complete tomorrow surely. Antaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So now in
Thank,
case...
thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So devotees can proceed happily, and in case anyone has any question, clarification, they can happily stay also. In case if you have comment, question, clarification, or even correction, or even something which is inappropriately spoken, you can be very frank to help me. Anything you felt.
Thank you,
Okay.
Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, tomorrow also we'll have class. We don't have exam tomorrow.
Actually, that's what Sakshi Achyut Prabhu told, because what is the
Correct.
case? I will be going to Warangal. That time he said we will have exam, he said.
Correct.
So that is in the next to next week or something. So tomorrow we'll have class.
We'll
And next week, Prabhu, next week?
Next week also we'll have. And exam will be, see what is the next. So today is 8th, 9th, na? So 15, 16 also will have. And then 22, 23 will not be possible. So that time we will have exam. One day to sure.
Yes, yes.
Exam.
Ramkrishna Prabhu, this is the exam of third.
Yeah, third canto last exam. Then after that, fourth canto we will begin.
Okay. Thank you.
So syllabus is third canto. So it has already covered. So no
Yeah.
problem.
No, because
So
I joined from between fourth canto, so I have
no
practically
exam.
not given any exam till now, although many exams are happening.
So you can attend these units later after your sixth
That's the
canto.
plan. That's the
Or
plan.
you can parallelly attend in some other batch if you can. Whatever.
No, I
Just
think this is better. Two days here. Let's see.
yeah, whatever is possible for you, do the needful. In your occupations, all are able to do this course. I pray that just continue. It's very important to know Prabhupada. So
Yeah.
many of the course mates are not there now, but you continue if possible, right? All of you.
Yes,
Earlier
yes.
it started with big number, right? Now, so please continue. It's very helpful, Prabhupada.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So exam will be postponed. So sorry for that change. Anything anyone else has to discuss? Okay.
प्रभु जी
Yes,
आउट
Mataji.
ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट पूछ सकते हैं
Yes, why not?
प्रभु जी आज ना जैसे हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे तो वो बोल रहे थे कि जो डीटीज को अभिषेक कराते हैं ना तो उसमें ना यमुना का जल डालते हैं गंगा जल नहीं डालते
कहाँ कहाँ?
मतलब जब अभिषेक होता है ना डीटीज का मॉर्निंग में या जब भी मतलब कराते हैं तो उसमें यमुना का जल डालते हैं
Really, where? I don't know. Means I'm not. I'm sorry. I don't know. यमुना जल कहाँ मिलता है? गंगा जल तो मिलता है. यमुना जल कहाँ मिलता है?
वो पता नहीं जब अभिषेक कराते हैं ना सुबह डीटीज का तो उसमें वो यमुना जल मिक्स
षोडशोपचार.
करते हैं
षोडशोपचार.
नहीं
मॉर्निंग.
सुबह जब मॉर्निंग में डीटीज का अभिषेक करते हैं
हाँ
या
तो
फिर
वही
जब
तो.
भी करते हैं तो
So
उसमें
you
ना
are
वो
not.
गंगा जल नहीं डालते
You are talking about not festival Abhishek, but everyday Abhishek.
यस प्रभु जी
That is called Shodoshopchar. That Pujari does
हम्म
that Abhishek. So
यस
you are saying that in that Yamuna water is used, like that you are saying.
यस यस यस
Oh, really? I am sorry. So it is your question or it is your information? What? I don't
प्रभु
know.
जी मतलब गंगा जल क्यों नहीं डालते हैं मतलब यमुना जल डालते हैं एक्चुअली
अच्छा प्रश्न है, मैं पूछ के बताता हूँ आपको. मेरे को पता ही
ठीक
नहीं
है
है गंगा जल का
प्रभु जी
यमुना जल. But how do
ठीक
you
है
get यमुना जल? I don't know. In NVCC every day यमुना जल कहाँ से मिलेगा इतना?
वो पता नहीं वो ले आते हैं मतलब जैसे भी होता
I
है
have never heard. I will check with some pujari. I have
यस
never
प्रभु
done
जी
that service, so I will ask and let you know.
ओके प्रभु जी
Okay,
ठीक
fine.
है थैंक यू प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा धन्यवाद प्रणाम
Hare Krishna. Dandavad. Fine, Prabhus. Very grateful to you for your patient hearing. So we'll end.
Thank you.